It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Ron Reeves, and Emerson Williams. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And we are joined this morning with Rockvale head coach James Counce. How you doing this morning, Coach?
Doing great. How you guys?
We're doing good, doing really good. Unfortunately, the Rockets suffered a tough 32-31 defeat last night to Station Camp. And Coach, I know that was a tough one last night. But just talk about your initial thoughts of the game.
It's just trying to get these guys to, get a full game under our belt where we can execute and do things that we've tried to work during the week. We had the game. We led the stats, had 18 first downs, and they had 10. They had 24 yards rushing. We had 206. It's just, we got to put a complete game. We got to learn how to win. We got to learn how to finish. Our kids fought. It's not anything to do with that. It's not an effort thing. It's not a, it's just an execution. Learn how to finish things off. We drive the ball down. We get the opening kickoff in the third quarter. We go down and score after we started the game with some special team hiccups and allowed us to get down, and we fight back and we get the ball right at the first of the third quarter. We drive it down to score, and we get it again later on, and we're fixing to score again. We kind of stall out, have some penalties there, and end up kicking a field goal. But if we could have scored right there, we could have pretty much put the game away. And at that time it was 31. It was 31-17, I think. But just gotta, it goes back to things I keep telling them. We got to be able to, we got to win the game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we can't just wait till Friday. But it's something that's not going to happen overnight, and we've got to go through these battles together, and learn from them. And like the old saying says, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Absolutely, Coach. And you had some key players last night step up big for you. Jonathan Hamby last night, 11 of 21 for 206 yards and a touchdown, and also rushed for 57 and 2 touchdowns. And he's been a really good leader for you this year.
He's doing a great job running the offense. He's a tough kid. He did a great job getting, making decisions. He threw that pick late when we're trying to get some things going and running out of time there. But I know he'd like to have that back. But, he's also a guy that was cleaning the locker room up when we got back and we were leaving. He was the last one in there. So that tells you all you need to know about
That's
it.
Awesome. That's the kind of character he has, and great family also. And Anton Reynolds also had a big night for you last night, 15 carries, 113 yards, and a touchdown.
Anton did a great job. We've been working on things, where we need to hit things and a little different in the way that I like to block some stuff. And he's a very coachable young man, and he's starting to see those things. And, we've been, just an inch here or there. And then last night we finally hit one, and he broke it out of there and showed his speed and getting to the end zone. And, he's doing a great job for us.
And one thing, Coach, from week 1 and week 2, we can tell about your team is you're fighting and you're competing, and you're right there in both of these games. I think last week against Independence you got down and got at the game tied, and this week it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, we got and that's something that I think they've struggled with in the past, and definitely, we got down against Independence, fought back, tied it up, but then it goes back to a mistake here, a mistake there, and allowed them to have. They only had two really good plays from then to the end of the game, but those two were big touchdowns, and so that was the difference there. And then last night we had them, and we just got to learn to finish and go ahead and put it away, but that they keep fighting, and as long as we continue to do that, we're going to grow and work through these situations together, and no better week than this week. Everybody's getting into the region, and everybody's record is 0-0 in the region, and battle tested, battle scars, thick skin, whatever you want to call it. But hopefully, now those kind of times in these two games, the things that we've learned, I can't tell you how far we've come since our scrimmage in the spring with Gallatin.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you about, Coach.
We've come miles from where they were and from where we were, and in a lot of different aspects. I mean, I can't touch on everything, but just the attitude and the togetherness and the brotherhood and those kind of things has gotten so much better. And just like after last night, guys ready to go to work. And as long as we keep that attitude and keep looking forward and growing from these moments, these learning situations that we have, everything's going to be okay. Let's come to work, do what you're supposed to, and, win Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's the big thing.
And, you were talking, about your culture and, your first year coming in, setting your culture and what you're wanting to do with your program. And I know you've got a lot of support out there, some great administrators and people out there to support you. Great facility, Jumbotron and new turf. And I talk about some of those exciting things. And I know down the road is going to be a field house down the road.
Let me speak on this too, that like at the games, the student section, the band, and the fans, even last night, our side was full, and, it still had the same feel as us being at home. And, I mean, those guys that do a great job. The students are, awesome, and, everybody works together, and, we're growing something. And and with that being said, yeah, we need a field house, and those kind of things, and hopefully that's going to be in the near future, and that would help everybody, not just us in athletics, football. It would help our athletic program, all of them, our department, and just being able to have other space for people, for each group to get their work done. But we're set. This is year 7. We don't have the the traditions that the others have, and but we're growing one, and we're growing ours, and that's why I'm here. That's why I wanted to come give whatever I got left to give. I wanted to give it to the community of Rockvale, just like I had Henry County, and build something there that nobody has done. Do something that be the first.
That's right.
We won't be the first.
That's right, Coach.
Do something that these kids that we can weather this storm, and the foundation that these seniors are setting, and we got a good freshman group, we got a good JV group, we're getting things worked out, and we're building something special and going to do something that nobody has done.
And I know you got to be excited about stepping into region play next week. You got your opponent next week. You play Laverne, so I know you got to be excited about getting region play started.
Absolutely, and we're excited to I heard Coach earlier say one of us is going to get a win, and the other one's going to get the third loss, and I think it comes down us and kind of where we are. it's about us and the things that we need to do. Just like last night, I felt like that. You look at the stat. We won everything except the scoreboard, and we got to figure that out, and that comes down to us. And I think if we can, get our game plan together, and whatever that is, whatever that game plan is, let's get ready to execute it. We're going to execute. We're going to be where we're supposed to be. We're going to do our job. And if I think if we can get that done, I like our chances. And we're young. We're super young. We got a freshman starting at receiver. We got I got 3 sophomore offensive linemen. We're super young. A sophomore tight end. Sophomores starting in the secondary. We're young, so we're going through those growing pains. But if we can get the execution down and do my job mentality, I think we're going to be headed in the right direction.
We appreciate it, Coach, and good luck next week against Laverne. And that is Rockvale head coach James Counce. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Ideas Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com.
Need blueprints fast? Franklin